What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 10 match, team builder for the PCL, or the Pokemon Championship League. This week we are taking on Robin and the Brussels Burmy. Last week we were supposed to take on my friend Blade and the Band of the Haluchas. However, he did forfeit to me. So at this point in the season, we are now 6-3 plus 10, I believe, is the differential we have. So we're in second place, right behind Starvin. We actually have a shot at taking first place in the entire league if we can win our next two matches, and Starvin loses at least one more. Sorry, and if Starvin loses this match, and then we beat him next week. Yeah, so let's run through Robin's team, though, because I want the focus to be on Robin. He has Mega Blastoise, Buzzwole, Mimikyu, Shaman, Darmanitan, Doublade, Muck, Zapdos, Guzzlord, Rhyperior, Ambipom, and the Buginium Z Crystal. I do think that he has to bring Buginium Z this week, which would likely be used by the Buzzwole. He doesn't really have another good user of it. Potentially like Buginium Z U-turn on Darmanitan, that would blow my mind. Same with Zapdos, things like that. But I think he would run Buginium Z Leech Life to deal with Microcelia a little bit better. He has priority in Mega Blastoise with Aqua Jet, Mimikyu with Shadow Sneak, Doublade with Shadow Sneak, Muck with Shadow Sneak, and Ambipom with Fake Out. His only hazard setting is Rhyperior with Stealth Rocks. He has removal in Blastoise with Rapid Spin and Zapdos with Defog. And he has 4 times weaknesses in Buzzwole to Flying, Guzzlord to Fairy, and Rhyperior to Grass and Water. Yeah, so I'm not actually... Whoops. Not on the right pawn there. I'm not actually bringing hazards against him. You can't tell that, but I'm not bringing rocks on Excadrill, which means I'm not bringing hazards. I'm also not bringing removal, because I don't think that it's going to be a very removal-heavy match. I think it'll be big hits back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We both have really big wall breakers on our team, and so despite the fact that I'm bringing some defensive checks, I think that it's a dangerous thing to get into. So first up is Diana or Cresselia. Leftovers, fairly standard physically defensive Cresselia set with Calm Mind, Moonblast, Toxic, and Moonlight. Moonblast kind of tears through his team. The only thing that will resist it, sorry, he's got 2 things that would resist it. It's the Muck and the Doublade. But I can't get away with Psychic because he has the Guzzlord and he runs Guzzlord a lot. Moonlight for good recovery, Toxic if I can catch something big coming in. You know what would actually be really nice is having Salazzle this week. I'm not running Salazzle, but I should think about maybe changing the team up a little bit to be able to Toxic the Doublade. Doublade can sit up on me kind of, which is a problem, and I need to switch out on that thing. Excuse me. I don't really have good Sacred Sword switching either, so that's something to think about. Calm Mind is good setup. Max HP, max defense. That's pretty basic Cresselia set. Another basic set, we're bringing Specs Primarina. I decided to go Specs over AV because he really only has 2 special threats. 3 special threats that I'm worried about because I'm not expecting Shaman to come. I think Shaman has a really poor matchup against my team. So he's got Blastoise, Zapdos, and Guzzlord, and Primarina switches into Guzzlord and Blastoise really well without an Assault Vest anyways. And I have Excadrill to switch into Zapdos, so Moonblast Scald is all the coverage that I needed. Scald is going to burn, well, it's going to do a ton of damage, and I'm really hoping it burns a lot of his physical team. That's why we're bringing Scald over, like, Hydro Pump. And Moonblast is there for anything else that would resist the Scald. Toxic's there in case I can get it off. I don't know what happened to my EVs here. There we go. Yeah, Toxic's there if we can get it off on a switch or something, and Reflect is really important because his team is very physically offensive, so if I can get up a Reflect, that could be cool too. In fact, I might change this to Light Clay with Reflect, because it'll help my team set up. Next up is, yeah, you know what? I don't really need the, whoops. Changing to Light Clay with Reflect, I think that's really cool. Cool tech that will have Reflect up for 8 turns. We don't really need the specs to do a ton of damage since we're modest max special attack anyways. So this will be really good for us. And now we can switch up moves too. Yeah, I'll have to change that in my building server. Next up, Siamese are Alolan Persian with leftovers Fur Coat. Parting Shot, Foul Play, Taunt, and Roar kind of just want to whittle his team down, and then Parting Shot out behind a Reflect. into a setup mon and win the game. That's kind of the strategy this week. Parting Shot is really good momentum, and as we learned against libraries, it doesn't work against Clear Body. Luckily, none of the mons on his team get Clear Body, so I know that Parting Shot will always work. Foul Play because he's got a lot of good physical attackers and I want to hit them back. Taunt to prevent things from setting up. Roar to phase things from setting up. Excuse me. Examples being the Dublade and the Rhyperior, most likely things to set up. Mimikyu as well, most likely things to set up. Mech, maybe too. We're running max speed, which lets us speed tie the Ambipom, because we're actually a really good switch in the Ambipom. Yeah, I have leftovers on here instead of Rocky Helmet for the chip, because I really want to get some recovery back. That was kind of a big problem the last time I brought a Alolan version, is that it couldn't switch in much because it was Rocky Helmet, so it was constantly getting chipped down. We have only one wall breaker. Well, if you don't count Primarina, then we only have one wall breaker this week in Mega Pidgeot. It's not even breaking that much, but I felt that it was very useful to deal with the Buzzwole. My team's kind of scared of Buzzwole quite a bit, and the fact that we can Hurricane that thing 100% accurate and destroy its face unless it's assault vested, then I feel good about that. Hurricane, U-turn, Roost, and Toxic. Excuse me, I thought about running Whirlwind for more phasing, but it kind of just died like a play rough on a Sacred Sword and things like that, so I left Toxic on there for other things. U-turn for momentum to get out of there, and I really only need Hurricane against this team. The things that want to switch in on a Hurricane, I can just U-turn out on, so this is fine. His team is really slow, so I can actually run Modest this week. We're running enough speed to outpace the Shaman. I didn't think it was worth trying to outspeed the Ambipom, because if he brings it, he's going to run max speed, I think. And I'd really rather just hit harder and switch into something else on Ambipom. So, yeah. Enough HP to get an odd value, and then the rest in defense. Next up is our first setup sweeper in Excadrill with Life Orb Mold Breaker. Mold Breaker is useful against the Mimikyu, and it's useful against the, what do you call it? The Rhyperior. Cutting through Solid Rock is really nice, as well as cutting through Disguise is also really nice. That's pretty much it, I think. The rest of the abilities I can't mold break. So we're sub SD. I'm hoping that I'll be able to set up a sub on something when it's -1 from Parting Shot and I'm behind a Reflect. Earthquake, Rock Slide is enough coverage to beat his team. Rock Slide is legitimately only there for the Zapdos, but I needed something to hit it with, so that's kind of neat there. We're running Jolly 184, which lets us outpace the Buzzwole by 1 point. Max attack, again, even Jolly, we're still hitting ridiculously hard, especially at +2, and we have 72 in HP because I had quite a bit of bulk left over for investing. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm not necessarily confident about my plan. I don't think it matters that much. I'm pretty close to being able to clinch a playoff spot, and regardless of this match, I think I will. As long as somebody else loses along the way. So I don't know. And again, this team, I've talked about this quite a bit throughout the season, but this team is very experimental. It's a very experimental hyper offense. I don't have the best switch-ins, and I sort of had to drop some things to get some switch-ins to moves, because I was like, oh, full offense, and then I was like, well, now I have no switches. Last but not least is our other setup sweeper, bringing Salamence. I'm actually running the Rocky MZ just to be kind of fun. I thought that Rocky MZ was okay against his team. I wasn't really sure what I'd run in the last move slot there anyways. But we have Stone Edge, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. I needed the Dragon Stab to be able to do things. Earthquake hits everything else. Mimikyu's Disguise needs to be broken. And Stone Edge is there with the Rocky MZ specifically for the Zapdos, because I think it could be a decent switch in for him into my Salamence. Enough speed on here to speed tie with the Shaman, and then once we get a DD and a kill, then it's kind of just game from there, honestly, because we'll be at +1 speed. He has very poor priority options for picking me off, and we'd have +2 attack. So Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. Hopefully, Salamence can pick up a bunch of kills, or Excadrill can pick up a bunch of kills. I've sort of been lackluster with both of them. Realistically, my team has mostly been Tyranitar carrying us the entire season, and like Mega Pidgeot doing a bunch of damage. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. This is week 10 of the PCL Team Builder, and I will catch you guys for the match.